What is up, folks? Wow. Well, first of all, big no. Mute your audio in the back. That way people don't even hear it. So we are live. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on a Friday evening. Now, we have a special presentation for this evening because, something that I wanted to really talk about because it was one of the best things that I had ever done when I talk about being a creator. So, really quick backstory before I bring everybody into the show. Last year, I did a 10 post in 1 day challenge with a gentleman by the name of Luke Matthews. And now it was a spur of the moment thing. This is what made it kind of crazier than what I did this last time. Both of them were difficult, but what was worse than last time is there was no planning. He just put the challenge out there. He started putting his, and he's over in the UK, so he was hours ahead of me. He put it out there, and I just took it upon myself. He said, "You know what? I'm going to join," and I just started posting, and I really just did a lot of content on the fly. So it was thinking of like, I mean, even back then there was actually no polls. So the big thing that people were using were like sliders and everything else. It was kind of crazy. It was really nuts, but I want to say hello real quick to everybody showing in for a little love for the audience, of course. Mr. Joseph Mowry, thank you so much. Angelique, who actually took part in the challenge herself, and the notorious LinkedIn user. This person's everywhere. I don't know what to do. I can't keep up with that individual. Every time I go to a stream, there's always LinkedIn user there. So that person is, they got so much going on. But here we go. Folks, the reason I wanted to talk about this today and bring the people that were actually participating, because this time I took a journey not by myself, which is fun. I actually had other creators who joined in the challenge and took part. And, we're going to talk about what their experiences were like. And then we're going to share some of the posts and stuff that they went over that, that they created, the things that they were doing as well, because it was a creative challenge for all of us, and the only stipulations that I asked for this time around was, I asked that we use some of the products or the features that LinkedIn has. So we did a GIF post, a meme post, a poll, an article, or a recorded video, and then everything else, however the creator wanted to do it. So we are going to say, let's get this party started, folks, because we got a lot of action-packed individuals who are joining me this evening. So I'm going to go ahead and start introducing the panel that has joined me this evening. But before I do, let me go ahead and change my background. That way people can join in, and we're going to have a little bit different thing. I'm going to turn on the overlay here as well. And let's get started, folks. So I'm going to introduce, first of all, this gentleman has been a really, really great addition to the live streaming community. I followed him starting last year, and he's been putting out great shows for other people and individuals. He does the Build Out Productions. Welcome to the show, Mr. James Jim Kunkel. How are you, my friend?
Good day. I'm doing great. I appreciate having me on tonight.
No worries, man. Anytime. I love it when other creators get to join me. And then this individual, she's been on fire as well. She's been doing multiple collaborations. She does her own show with the very, how do I say, big-worded, big-hearted kind of individual, Mr. Carl Sean Watkins. I'm talking about Miss Charlene Brown. Welcome to the show.
Hello. What's going on?
Yes, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I do appreciate you stopping in. It's always fun when I get to bring on other creators. And of course, our next guest, how do I even, well, first of all, he's got a signature look that people know him as. So the moment you see this guy, you already know what it is. Plus, it's already included in his name. So guys, help me welcome to the show, Mr. Mohawk Matt Denny. There he is. Oh, we got the audio.
Somebody had to do it. So I figured.
There's always a couple, right? There's always few
exactly
in there. So we got people coming to chime. Oh, even some of our own watching here as well. So let's go to our next panelist who is part of the show. She is a awesome individual. She always talks about her. She does her Friday. Why is it slipping my mind? I had this figured out already in my mind. But she always talks about your superpowers and coaching and what she does. She's been on the show before. I've interviewed this wonderful individual. Help me welcome to the show this evening, Miss Kenyatta Turner. Okay, correct
Hey,
me. Is
people.
it Friday? Welcome.
Freedom Friday.
Freedom.
And probably why you don't remember is because I didn't do it today. I'm not always consistent.
Hi, but that's okay. So, and this lady, I got to give her much props because not only has she hopped back into the live streaming world, she was actually on a live stream like just a little over an hour ago, I believe. But she brings a lot of energy in what she does and what she talks about. I mean, it's incorporated into her name. It's almost like it was built for her to use. So guys, help me welcome to the show, Miss Jen Russman. How are you?
So good. So good.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining, and appreciate you. And then this gentleman, I started following him through a mutual connection that we started following. So if you don't know who the Noonberg Daily Huddle is, they do a very fabulous show. They get your day started off very early at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. They do a every morning show Monday through Friday. They get you hyped up with motivation, with songs, with music, with inspiration. It is a great way to get your foot off. You start your day off on the right foot. So I want to help you help. Welcome to this show, Mr. Joseph Gonzalez. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Mr. Gabe, panel, what's going on? Let's bring it, buddy. Thank you very much.
There he goes. And I think I dropped one of our other ones. Hopefully she'll hop back in. I'll pull her in when she does. 8 a.m. every morning. Yes, it is. Okay, and then we're going to bring in this individual. She's not going to have her camera on, but that's okay. We're going to enjoy her audio. And I met her just over a week and a half ago through the new feature of LinkedIn audio events. She hopped in one of the rooms, and you know what? She took off running when I issued out the challenge. And I was like, you know what? I love it when people come on and will, put themselves out there. So I want to help them. Welcome to the show. She's been in a few of the live rooms with me as well, Miss Kimber Kivagarden.
Hello, everybody. You don't see me waving back. Hi. Okay with me just being an emoji. I'm a cartoon character.
That's okay, but we'll enjoy you regardless. And of course, she wasn't able to join us, but Miss Angelique, who was also part of the challenge. I do appreciate you showing up. There were a few others who were part of it. Heidi Brooks, who actually I've met through Mr. Jim Kunkel up there. She was actually unable to attend, but that's okay. Again, it wasn't always just about bringing everybody on here and talking about everything that they were doing. All I really focused on was getting them kind of into the challenge, because it was, again, it was meant to kind of get you in a position where, you were, Licia, I forgot Licia. I'm sorry. Before I even she's actually across the pond. So she couldn't join us because it was like 4 a.m. over there. So yeah. I understand. So I'm not going to hold her to the fire, but man, first of all, folks, I got to tell you, while I have you all here, thank you, first of all, number one, for taking on the challenge. It was a lot of work. And for a lot of people who don't actually understand about creating content, like how it actually is, I hear people now. I want to ask you about this, all of you first. We're just going to go round robin style, but I'm going to ask each one of you first. How has it changed your outlook on posting one post a day now in doing content?
Oh, it's easy.
Super
right?
basic.
There's nothing to
Yeah, basic.
Yeah, exactly.
Child's play.
Yeah.
It's like, woo!
Gabe, what I learned is, what works. So I actually looked at the analytics on each of the posts to see, what resonated, what didn't resonate. So this helps. That challenge actually helped me out figure out maybe what I need to do related to promotion.
Yeah, that's a big one. And you know what? That's where I took out of it as well last year when I did it. Because when I started going and putting content out there as well, it's like, you mean I only got to put just one? One, right? But also, what does it add to what you guys think of now doing all these different styles of content that you can actually create and putting your creative mind on how you can use something just like for example, a poll, right? How you can actually create around that. And I'm forgetting one more. I'm sorry. Miss Maria Rouse, that was the other one I couldn't remember right off. But she took part in well and was posting. So, but back to the original question, guys. When you now look at how you can use a variety of features, this is why I wanted to include some of these features in here, because some of the people who took the challenge, that's not like what their forte was, but it at least puts you in a position to kind of now understand, hey, I can do this. So everybody, I'm going to ask you, what do you feel, before I kind of go into what I actually know, but what do you guys feel was your best post that you did out of all 10? There was quite a few that I really enjoyed, but what do you feel that you felt was your best? You hit your creative maximum point at there. I would love to hear you share. So I'm going to start with Mr. James up there, since he's up top.
So what I found out, memes rule. And what I did to promote Build Out, I actually did the most interesting man in the world, where he's interviewing me. That's basically what it says. When I go on Build Out, I interview Jim Kunkel. And when I found out memes, boy, they really do work, because the number of views on that and responses was really high. So I need to look at maybe potentially incorporating some memes into my show promotions.
Nice. I love that. So next, we're going to jump to Miss Charlene Brown. What do you feel your best post was?
I'm gonna say even before I looked at the analytics, it was the meme. I've never used memes, and I used one with Taraji, with one of her famous looks. Yes, P. Henson, with one of her famous looks, giving side eye and trying to think, should I say something smart? And I pivoted with that, and it was nothing related to what I do for my business or anything. I was just having fun with it. And I just told a story about someone sitting at the pity bar or the petty bar. And that's really, you know how we can get, like, somebody says something to you and you're like, should I say something back or should I just let it go? So I just said a nice little story, and it just took and it resonated. And that was one of the higher scores when it came to analytics. So I was like, wow, maybe I should be tapping into these memes a little more. It was fun too.
There is something behind it. There's something behind it. So, Mr. Matt, let me ask you, what do you feel what probably was one of your best posts that you felt like, what, I was on fire with it? There was, we all have one. I have one particular for me, but what do you feel yours was?
Yeah, so for me, it's probably different than anyone would expect. And because for the last couple of years, I've really focused on video, because in my world of the military, Department of Defense, all the spaces where my audiences are, video is not common. And so writing and articles are very common. So 10 years ago, I was published in 10 countries. I've won writing awards, but I haven't wrote in years. So the article is actually what I enjoyed the most, because it tapped into some things that I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I'm going to start writing again every couple days and posting more articles. And really the creative side of the article. It wasn't just like I was used to storytelling or photojournalism.
Yeah.
And this didn't have to be that. So I just told a recent story of me on a business trip. And I say that's the best for me, not because of the metrics, but because of it retapped into a creative side that I kind of forgotten about.
Man, I love that. That's why I kind of hope that people would include a lot of copy. So I'm going to go to Miss Kenyatta Turner. what do you feel like? What was your best point that you hit upon all day long in being creative? Because we all have ours. I love it when people express their creativity. So I would love to hear what you feel yours was. What was the thing that you said? That was me, baby. I was on fire.
Cheated. I cheated. I didn't follow the rules. So I can tell you that. So, yeah, that's how I play games, right? You want to play a game with me?
I'm not going to play Monopoly with you.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, so I didn't read all the rules.
On the bank.
So I'll start by saying that. So I read far enough to go, and okay, that's my spontaneous side, right? I'm like, oh, I just need a couple bullet points and I'm good, right? This was my superpower being overplayed. It turned into kryptonite because I quickly looked at it and I said, oh, 10 posts one day. That sounds great. There's 10 behavior superpower styles. That's perfect. So I'm just going to give information on each of the 10 styles. And I have this cool graphic that we recently made that shows like these people like pulling their chest open or their shirt open with all little things. I'm like, I'll use the same exact picture because then it'll all be consistent. And then I'll have the copy saying what it is if people don't see that. And then I will write the thing about the behavioral superpower. That was the different thing in each post. And that was a lot. Okay, that's crazy to do all that. But I think it might have been Mohawk Matt, maybe your thing. Someone did a video and I watched it and they were like, yeah, it was really cool. You know, we had to do a poll, we had to do a GIF. And I was like, what? And so I went back to your post and I read it and I was like, oh shit.
Oops.
And then I had to, I called myself. So I put a comment officially saying, I did not read any of those rules, and I did not do
That's the same thing.
I still had a good time. So I didn't do the memes and the polls. But here's the thing. When I went to the hashtag, because I wanted to go and comment on your guys' stuff, and I'm seeing all these damn polls. And I'm like, I didn't know polls were so popular. Why is everybody doing polls? It didn't even dawn on me that we were supposed to do a poll. So haven't done a poll, didn't do a meme, didn't do a video, didn't follow the rules. I kind of cheated. And so that's my thing. However, I will say that the memes seems really cool. And everyone's talking about how surprised they are about the meme doing well. Well, my thought is, don't you guys like memes? Don't you look at them when they come up in the feed yourself? So you shouldn't be surprised that everybody else likes your memes.
Exactly.
Like, they're funny. So
they're great.
I'm going to do more memes. That's all I got.
There you go. So Jen, there we are. There you are. So
Scared myself.
What do you feel was your best?
Oh my gosh. You know, again, like for me, it has nothing to do with the metrics, more as everything with me is about going inward, the inner journey. And for me, it was early morning the next day. I had to be done by 9:00 and I had to be out of the house by 8:30. So I was like, I got to get something up between 6:30 and 7 so I can get the last one up by 8:30. And I didn't know I had nothing. I was like, okay, it's like the final, here we go. Rubber meets the road. And so I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, you know what? So I got online and I started looking up memes and, doing the thing. And then I saw this meme and it was the one about every time an inner child is healed, the ripple effect changes humanity. And I was knocked over. And the creativity portal just opened up for me. And it was it just flowed. And so it was really, really special to be in the final bewitching hour. Because I'm not somebody who, I'm not going to throw something up just to throw it up.
Yeah.
I'm really all about the energy and the alignment and what I'm putting out there. And it has to be resonating for me if I'm going to share it with my audience. So that just moved me. And it also, the other special thing about this post is it took my vision to the level of humanity. It expanded my own vision for why I'm here and what I'm doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And yes. I couldn't have asked for a better gift. So thank you, Gabe, because this challenge expanded me
and that's
in my vision.
Gosh, I love that. And that's what I wanted to hear.
Magic. Getting emotional.
Yeah. The creators, what they do. And that's part of it, right? That's sitting down and going, let my brain work. How do I do this?
Yeah.
So here he is, Mr. Joseph Gonzalez. I'm going to ask you, what do you feel was your best post? There was a few that I like, but you always bring energy. So I want to hear what you feel yours was the best post. Oh, can you hear me?
Hey, hey.
There you
Well,
go. There he goes.
well, my thing, I've always been big on motivational videos. Um, yeah, I've always been big on the motivational videos. As you can see, I do a lot of videos, a lot of posts that pertain to my business. And I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and throw something out there. Maybe that'll resonate with the crowd. Get as much engagement as I can. And I didn't look at the analytics, but I put up a post with one sentence that says, "Who needs a rest day?" And man, I looked at it and I said, wow. And everybody starts responding, everybody starts engaging, and everybody starts going back and forth. And I said, look, a simple poll, just asking for a rest day. And it's like blew up. And then I got a bunch of other individuals that engaged with me telling me why am I doing 10 posts in one day? And I said, you know what? I really don't know, but I just want to put value. I want my daughter, I'm sorry, my daughter's touching my ear, but I want to put valuable information so that'll give something to the individuals that I go back and forth with in the community that'll provide value to them. So I just basically did a lot of standard posts, and I got really good engagement on that one poll. And I looked at it and I said, man, a simple sentence of who needs a rest day. And it really went well for me. And it just took me to that level. And I'll go what Jen said. It took my creative mind to that level where I hadn't taken it before. And I really did enjoy it. And I thought I did pretty good putting a lot of standard, basic, valuable information to the community. And to me, that's what it's all about. I always tell everybody, well, how do you define your give? Well, I define my give, and that finds my why. So that's my purpose in life, is to give to everybody. And it really took me to where I needed to go.
I love that. Love it, love it, love it. That again, you're not only incorporating your value, right? But you're also incorporating the creativity that goes along with it, and you're sharing to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So I love that. This is what this is all about. So
I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed a lot of the posts that I was reading, a lot of the stuff that I was taking in. So Kimber, welcome.
You guys didn't get to see my startled response at, "Oh, I'm there."
There you are.
You guys responded. You didn't get to see me do that.
So let's ask you the same question. What do you feel like was your most creative post?
First, I need to explain that, like some other people have touched on, I had never done a GIF before, and a meme is like totally outside of my world. I don't look at memes like whoever was saying. I don't look at them. I'm like so focused in my world that only what interested in my world that I pay attention to. And I'm told I'm a funny person. I think I'm like too serious, and so I had to actually research. How do you make a meme?
Well,
and so that was my first question, even before I decided to be part of this. It's like, can I do it? I don't know if I could do it. I've never done this before. And so that was one of the really exciting parts of the challenge. I've done graphic design for over 10 years. I've been teaching online for over 10 years. So what was my best? How do you determine what is your best? The one that I loved the best was I have an emotional, can you identify the emotions, feelings? And I love the pictures of the babies. And they're just so expressive, and being able to put something together that is that visual. I've never done something like that before. I teach it as a lesson, and actually creating it so that it can be consumed in just a few seconds was something that was like a brand new concept for me. So yeah, but yeah, it was an amazing process. And also I wanted to create a theme. Like I didn't want it to be just scrappy things. And so I learned that might not work, having 10 posts being like that, but having 2 or 3 words, like giving a thumbnail. So yeah.
Well, I love the fact that everybody had not only creativity that they shared, but they also put a lot of their values in what was really kind of vital to what they were and how that added into everything that they were creating. So in what I wanted to do, I incorporated everything that I use all the time when I create. So I started my Monday morning off with a live stream of all things at 5 in the morning. I had a live stream that I actually did, and I was interviewing somebody. I did not what everybody could do, but I did an audio event that I had done there as well as part of my challenge. Um, I did my poll, my GIF, my meme. I wrote an article. I did a video. So I try to incorporate a lot of the things that I was asking that are part of the tools that we can use every single day to express our creativity. Um, and what I really really loved about what every single person here had was they all had a different feel. They all had a different aesthetic to what everybody was sharing, but yet there was still a lot of really deep meaning and messages to a lot of the stuff that people were sharing. So like Licia, who's not here, or Angelique, who's not here, they both had really great posts that I enjoyed as well. I think Angelique had her theme where she was actually talking about butterflies. Um,
Yeah.
in what she was doing. So that was a whole nother, again, somebody took a theme and built around what that was. I was like, man, that is incredible. Because if you stretch, the thing is, guys, we did 10 posts in one day. If you wanted to stretch that out over 2 weeks, you could actually build content now. And now you know how to structure content to talk about a theme that could go over 2 weeks long and incorporate a lot of the things that you actually did. This is what I loved about it, because it made this work really hard and how to express your creativity. And you know what? Sometimes we do need that little extra push, that little pressure to get that mind to continue to going. Because sometimes we let it just like sit there. And then when you're like, oh my God, I got a deadline to meet. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And it gets you through even if you pre-think a lot of these things out, you still have to go out and write and create some of the things that you're doing. So it still pushes you creative wise to continue to do. I mean, even me, and look, I'm a really creative person, but I got to the end where I was like, what am I going to do? I really still had like 7. I think when I had like 7 posts, I still had 3 that I still had to do. And I was like, what am I going to do? Because I started thinking. Right.
I got a question. Did anyone have all of their posts ready to go before Monday?
No.
Okay, I'm not trying. Okay, just checking.
I had a list. I kind of mapped it all out, but I ended up not following it.
I didn't have anything.
I had 4 done.
I didn't have anything.
So I had 4 done. That's impressive. 4.
Yeah.
I purposely didn't do any because I wanted that extra challenge. Like I had them in my head, but I was like on Saturday and Sunday. I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Just to help push myself.
I didn't want to take a vacation day. I still had a job to do.
Right.
And I tried using a poster, an auto poster to help me post, and it wasn't working for everything. So GIFs and memes were not working. And it failed on the 9th one. So as I'm getting ready for the 10th one, and I'm like all ready, and I was like, I got an hour. Let me go relax. Let me go get something to eat. I came back and I'm looking for my post. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm only counting 8. Where's the other one? So I had to like rush. I ended up posting at like the 10th one at 12:01. I was like, this counts. I don't care. This counts.
Yeah.
Oh, so you cheated too, Charlene. I wasn't the only one who cheated.
Technically, but I was like, it's going in.
Were you using Canva? Hopefully it wasn't Canva, because I rely on Canva for scheduling.
I was using Social Champ. So
Okay.
I'm new to a lot of it, and it was doing videos and everything, but the memes and the GIFs, it just wasn't pushing forward. For some reason it didn't allow the GIFs. So I was like, okay.
I use Canva, and only some of the things that I schedule ahead to actually go through. But Charlene, I'm so glad to hear you say that, because one of the things I didn't anticipate and expect is that I've done series before, but I do it over a longer time. So I had already a series that I had started doing that had to do with Google Search 2021. And I'm posting 1 per week because I know that the people in my community do a lot of comments, and I comment a lot. Like I can't post a sentence or an emoji. I have to actually write a whole friggin' paragraph for the afterwards. And so what I didn't expect was all the notifications, people like liking it, reading it, responding it, and stuff like that. And then also to have Angelique and Charlene being those people that were commenting, it's like, how are you doing this? That you were like, I pre-did a few of them, not a lot of them, but I'm posting and I have meetings on the side and other things. And it's like, how the heck are you actually commenting on my stuff when you're in the boat with me? That was what was astounding.
Well,
Yeah, I was trying to
I'm gonna
make
tell
sure
you.
I touched.
Well, I'm gonna just say and let you know ahead of time that, of course, the bigger draws that drew in the most engagement and the most comments were things that you guys had mentioned. So it goes so that the biggest ones that came in were polls. Polls drew the biggest engagement out of every single one of the ones that we done. Um, it drew the most views. It drew the most comments. It drew the most likes. I know. I guess that because LinkedIn still pushes polls, that it draws
Mhm.
a lot of engagement. But even some of the polls that people were just that even had lower engagement on them, they were still higher than a lot of um, some of the other posts that people were putting. Um, so you can build a strategy if you want to share polls. Polls actually draw a lot of um, they draw a lot of just eyes because people. It's pretty simple to just see the poll itself, click a yes or no or whatever, and just um, move on. And it counts as a view. It counts as engagement. So polls drew the biggest draw. The second you guys mentioned memes drew the next biggest line of engagement. So most of the memes that we're sharing, we're drawing, were more views, more comments. So memes actually, as a strategy, would work. So it's again, and I don't know what it is about them. I guess it's because it's the copy that goes along with the visual photo of it. Um, but those drew a lot as well. And then third was videos. So if you recorded a video and you put it on there as well, they were very close in engagement. So memes actually created a little bit more engagement of views than the videos did that people were sharing on there. Um, but I got to tell you though, um, I still love the fact that we incorporated all these other things in the articles. I'm going to tell you what articles. I love writing. I love writing. Angelique wrote a good one. I read Matt's as well. I wrote one, and even Charlene. Everybody that wrote an article, it it the articles do not draw. I don't know why they don't push those things more than they do. The only advantage of writing in articles is SEO um, capable, so people will actually be able to SEO your article if you write it in using keywords. But again, that's a lot of work if you're just trying to draw traction. But as far as it being a really good feature, um, it's not. It doesn't really draw a lot of attention. So I can understand um, why a lot of people don't spend times on articles. It's tough because you're putting it out there and you got to share and you got to put out there. So, and here's some of the ones that I wanted to kind of um, look over and highlight because there were some really great stuff that had some of them. You know what? It wasn't even the fact that it drew a lot. I loved the message of what was being shared. So I'm going to pull these up so you guys can see this as well. I'm going to share my screen. Um, I tried to actually load all this stuff up in here, and my files did not load. So what does that tell you about professional?
You're human.
They're human. So I love this one. You wrote about Sidney Poitier, Charlene.
Yes.
It was a very, very good. Again, it talked about all the stuff that we see here, a lot of things that he stood for. And guess what? You put it in as a gift. That was wonderful. I loved reading this. Um, I am a big
Thank
fan of I'm a big fan of copy. So when somebody takes the right and then they sit down and put out there what it is, I love when people share that. So that was huge for me. There was, oh, Jen, you had a video. Let me pull up your video as well that I actually enjoy. This is what I love about a hashtag. So even if you don't have all this stuff loaded, sharing a hashtag, folks, it almost acts as your own. So there was another. I love that one too. Licia's not here, but she was talking about how she's committed to 21. That's right.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree. No one said ever.
There's your Janet post. That was a good one too.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a trick to like you putting a GIF in? I haven't put one of those in. Like I heard someone, she was cutting out. She was saying, I think she was trying to do something, and you have to figure out how. Like we can't just do it. I don't get it because I cheated. Remember, I didn't even do it.
Yeah. So LinkedIn.
You and I both.
LinkedIn is not very good at incorporating those into like the strategy of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So there, you can add them in. You got to use like a secondary source, like Giphy or Tenor. You got to actually like copy and paste it. I sent. Who was it that I sent it to? Jen.
Me. I was so excited. I used GIFs for the first time on LinkedIn. I was like, yes.
Can you guys share with me whatever you sent? Like, can I get that? I want to try it now.
Because what I did, I downloaded it. I downloaded my GIF, and that's why it was getting rejected from the secondary source, because I downloaded it as a picture and was trying to upload it. So when I went to LinkedIn, I just uploaded it as a photo, and it came in as the GIF.
So this was her second post of the day, but I really loved the message that, and it was short and sweet. You didn't have to. Oh, sorry.
What do I mean by that? It means before you can actually be authentically visible out in the world in your relationship to others, you have to be authentically visible with yourself. It starts with getting honest with yourself. It's about being vulnerable with yourself. It's about having integrity within yourself. Ultimately, it's about being true to yourself. Showing up for yourself in this way first is how you build the confidence. It's how you build the strength and the courage to then go out and show up authentically visible as you. By doing the inner healing work, you're allowing yourself to show up fully for yourself first, and then for others in your relationships. It allows you to set boundaries and hold to them. It allows you to remain true to yourself no matter what. It allows for you to be you and live your life unapologetically. Authentic visibility.
1 minute. That was a 1 minute video, but that was very impactful, and I loved it as well. That's why, like, again, if that's all you posted for the rest of the day, bravo, right? You actually went on and did. You actually did.
That was number two.
That was number two.
Just getting started.
So, but I really loved it, and then I love that everybody had that's what I love, the themes that were going on. So Kimber was also talking about emotional intelligence, sharing that throughout the theme of what it was, and even how you actually write copy, right? Just say the simple post that you read there. I'm sorry, I love you, and then how you actually write it the other way, the meaning behind it. That was I really love the fact that that's what it was. And here's like one of mine. I did this on the fly.
I love that.
I thought about it, and I was like, how the heck am I going to do a video? And I didn't even think about it, but guys, this is why I tell you, you just start with what you have. This was done with an iPhone.
Is that Clips? The Clips app?
Clips app has this in here as well.
Okay.
So using Clips, you can actually pull in backgrounds. You can now kind of.
I forgot to use Clips, yeah.
But it's a great way to kind of change what you do. So this was Charlene's article. It was really great, and I love what you're again. There was a one more. Let me find this as well. So
So
it was.
Most of my stuff didn't show because I didn't put the S in the hashtag. So
A lot of it showed. I mean, so it did show up in there.
Well,
that was the tricky part.
I had to go change it and edit all of my posts because I missed the S and the hashtag. So that was something to learn from for me.
So this is one that I liked that Angelique did. It was a slider, right? And how you can talk about.
I love that one.
She did that one. There was another one that she did. Hold on, that actually was talking more about the. That was her theme of butterflies.
She does remarkable graphics.
So here's hers. Look at this. Look at this. I love this slider that she did. Talking about things that she had been doing. Is it possible? Impossible? Right? I love that. It's
awesome.
It's very simple, but again, it goes with the theme of the message. Yeah. So I really love the fact that they were doing that. And then I love this one too. It made me giggle because I thought about that as well. Like when you turn on the water, you're in a hurry to get in the shower. And guess what? It's cold. But there was a lot of great things that people were. I don't know why people were actually putting. I did not notice this, but people were putting 10 post one challenge. So there was actually people that were like hopping in along the way, right? And this thing, I love this. That I didn't even discover this until now, actually. But look at this. There was somebody else.
We got to get Magdalena a shout out.
I do. Because this was what like okay, so 10 months. This is
I
what
had brought her into it.
I saw. Well, you know what? I need to reach out to her because I was just looking at some of the stuff now, but this is like some of the stuff that we did last year. Whenever I was doing this with Luke, so he did a video, he did a slider, he did a he did a poll. Look at that, too. Actually, as a matter of fact. But that was the fun. Look at this. I love this. I need to reach out to Magdalena. You need to, I wish I would have known. I would have invited her. But you know what? That was the cool thing about what everybody did here tonight.
30-day challenge with her right now.
Oh my God. 30-day challenge? Oh my God, that's a lot.
Yes.
I've done one of those. That's tough.
She asked me what she actually asked me, why did I post 10 posts? And I said, well, I'm in a 10 post in a day challenge. She says, can I get it? I said, post away.
Right. Exactly.
That's how she jumped in.
Oh my God. So
after 10 days, I can't imagine doing 30 days.
Well, you know what? And I got to tell you something, guys. In all honesty, of what was created and what was shared between everybody here, I love the fact that no matter what, now we walked away and we've kind of built another level of connection with everybody who's been here. And now that as creators, now you're going to be able to start seeing all these other people, all these wonderful individuals who were already here, were now being brought together, and now we're being shared. So I wanted to. Oh, hello, Jude. Thank you for hopping in. Wow, that's interesting.
Reposted a LinkedIn.
Reposts usually don't reshares. Like sharing on the platform doesn't get a lot of engagement, man. I think they do that for a reason.
There's Kenneth.
Kenneth Dunner Jr.
He's back.
He's not back. He's actually commenting from YouTube.
Wow.
It is YouTube.
Okay.
He's still banned on LinkedIn.
So wrong.
It is. Because all he does is he supports all of us.
All he does is support.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
It
does.
must be his scrumptiously, deliciously lingo that they don't like. I don't know.
They're like, it's too delicious.
It's
Get rid of them.
He's too delicious for
Too
LinkedIn.
delicious for LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I guess. So what were we going to ask, Kenyatta?
Oh, I was gonna ask. I'm curious where everyone like lives in the world. Like, I don't need your address or anything, but like, where like, where in the world are you?
Private message you my address.
Miami, Florida.
Arizona.
Earth.
Miami, Florida.
Okay.
My
Virginia.
hometown.
Ah,
I'm
Which
Pittsburgh,
one, Miami?
Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yes, Miami.
Who said that? Who's in Pittsburgh?
I'm in Pittsburgh,
Okay.
Pennsylvania. Not Pittsburgh, California, but Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
All right. We're practically neighbors. I'm in New York.
Ah, okay.
Oh, Brooklyn, New York over here, hunkering down.
Angelique, you're in Arizona. I'm in Arizona, Angelique.
Oh.
What? Did you
that's
go to
awesome.
LinkedIn Local the other night? We had a LinkedIn Local here, Phoenix. It was cool.
So
I hope to be there in a couple of years. I'm looking to relocate to the Phoenix area in
All
Arizona.
right. Hit me up.
I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
So-
What about Mohawk Matt?
Nice.
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
For
East
about
Coast is represented.
for about 2 more months. We're about to go RV life, so I'll be going live from everywhere.
Nice.
Nice.
Ooh, there's good
That's the
content
dream.
right
Right.
there. Yeah.
I
Right
like it.
on.
Okay.
Nice.
So,
Content on the road.
all right.
Mobile studio.
Now, I sent out to 3 unbiased people a lot of the videos here. Videos, the posts, the hashtags. I uploaded all this stuff. That's why I said I had all this stuff on video file, on the file where I shared, where I brought down all the posts. I cannot find my file. I don't know why. So I sent it to 3 people who were very unbiased. Actually, these 3 people don't even know LinkedIn existed. That tells you how.
These are kids.
No, actually, so one of them is my mom. One of them was my mom in Florida. Has no idea LinkedIn's existed.
Hi, moms.
So she's not watching because she's
on LinkedIn.
She's not. Well, I think she might, because she does have YouTube, so
Oh, there you
she
go.
might watch me on YouTube, but had no idea LinkedIn existed. She's like, "What is that?" I said, "Okay, never mind." She's
Don't
retired. She does. Yeah, she doesn't work anymore. She doesn't retire, so she's not even worried about being on a platform for business or whatever. One of them also that I shared this with was a coworker, and he had, again, no idea what LinkedIn was. Only thing that he knew about streaming and social media was Twitch. So he didn't know what that was, but had no idea that LinkedIn is actually a platform where you can go create, stream, form, whatever. So that was another one that didn't know. And then I reached out to my brother, the only brother that I have not had on a live stream. Oddly enough. So they went over, I let them look over it, and I just told them, "Hey, look, objectively, I want you just to look at these things. Just give me a few notes of what resonated, what hit with you, just see what a lot of the things were." One of the things that they really did enjoy were a lot of the actual videos that people put together, because they're like, "Hey, I love the message, man. That's cool that people are recording their stuff and putting it out there." My mom was really drawn to a lot of the articles because she loves to read. So although they didn't gain a lot of traction, she did read them. She said, "I really like I really like whoever wrote a lot of these stuff. She said, tell your mom thing. She says, tell your friends they did a good job." I was like,
Aw.
I was like, all right. She said, well, she's out where Joseph, in that area. She's up like a little north of Tampa, so she's out in Florida. She lives out that way.
Nice.
But again, it was very funny to hear her share her thoughts, and then of course the other gentleman that I reached to, he's a lot younger, so he actually was like he liked like anybody that had like the GIFs or the memes. That was like what he drew to him. He really enjoyed those a lot. because that's kind of the culture of what there is. I mean, he's I think 23 or 24, young kid. That's why I said he has no clue what LinkedIn is.
As soon as you said that, and then he knows what Twitch is, I was like, he's got to be young.
He is young. Yeah. So they watch Twitch streams, the gaming thing.
Yeah.
So, whatever. So I asked, just out of generality, what each individual person they went through. So I got to give them. I gave them props because they did take the time to actually do this. And it was kind of hard, but a lot of the stuff that they really enjoyed because of the themes, they really loved Angelique's stuff because it was really, again, it was like very clean, very present. The videos that she did, they also liked Jen's, the videos, because you were doing TikTok. So it's like, oh, she's on TikTok, I can follow her. The young kid was like, I'll go follow her on TikTok. So those really did draw attraction. But ultimately, the one that came to the most was and what I'm going to announce is the winner. She's not even here, but Angelique was the one that drew a lot of the most attention because of they love the theme. But I got to tell you that, again, my mom's favorite article was yours, Charlene.
Nice.
She loved your article as well. The one thing that my brother was, telling me that when we were talking about it and looking it over, was that he loved the easy factor of the polls, right? So it was, I think it was Joseph, your poll that was just asking. So he really liked your poll and how exactly the rest day poll. So he wanted me to make sure that give you the thumbs up on that one, that he really loved that you shared that as well.
You.
But you know what? It was a really good lesson in how we can go out now and understand, again, to teach others. I think now that you guys have actually seen what works and what doesn't work, so that when people come to say, hey, what do you do for your creative style? What do you do to share? I'm new to LinkedIn. How do I put? Because now I got those 3 people. It's like I'm getting them now to sign up to LinkedIn. I'm like, Mom, you need to get a LinkedIn account. Because she didn't, until I started streaming again on YouTube. She's like, hey, she asked me one day, she's like, are you stopped doing your videos, son? I was like, again, how does that sound? You stopped doing your video. I was like, Mom, they're live streams, number one. And no, I haven't stopped doing them. I was just doing them strictly on LinkedIn. And she's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I need to sign up for that. And I was like, yeah, Mom, sign up for it. It's becoming a social media platform.
Make sure you teach your hashtagging.
Exactly. So
yes, a little part of me, and this is probably completely blasphemous to say so, however, I'm going to say it anyway, is that to me, people who maybe aren't on social media platforms like right now, I would tell them, don't do it. Stay away, enjoy your life free from, because then once it happens, you're like, just
keep them off Twitter. They'll be okay.
Well, I think
what I mean. So part of me is like, don't do it. No.
Well, I think part of them though, so they all had social media in their lives. So, again, my mom, she watches YouTube. She'll go watch YouTube, so she knows YouTube's there. She needs to Google something like how to fix something in her garden, that sort of thing. Go to YouTube. She watches YouTube, and then of course, the coworker that I was telling you about. I mean, he watches Twitch, so he knows that live streaming exists. He was kind of cool that he saw my stuff, and he goes, "Man, you do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been doing this for a while." So I had to kind of share a little bit about what I was doing, and pull back the curtain a little bit, because there's people, unless you let them know this is what you do and this is what your career is, that was a big part of like revealing something to somebody who I was just working with. So now, who knows? He might be now following me on one of the other social media platforms, but now he knows I exist. And of course, again, people discover us on other platforms apart from here, because if we're on Facebook, if we're on other places, now people can actually search it. But the lesson that I want everybody to walk away with out of this is that, number one, creativity can stem from anywhere, anytime.
Mm-hmm.
And for people to say I'm not creative, I think that's BS. You are creative.
Oh yeah.
You just need certain things, like what I did. So focus on these things: how quick, how fast, and how things you can actually put out content. Not just content, good content, resonating content that people love. And that's the thing, even what you guys have created now, it's starting to live on beyond that, right? I mean, you're still seeing somebody like might a week from now comment on your video, Jen, or they might comment on something that you wrote, James, and things that you've been doing. So it keeps it moving over and over and over again, and it doesn't stop. Um,
Right.
and that's the wonderful thing, that when you guys now go out there into the world, and now you start thinking, it gives you a different perspective again, like I said at the very beginning of doing my post. So when people are like, I got to come up with a post today, what am I going to do? You're like, no, you got it.
Yeah. But you know what?
Sorry.
Go
You know
ahead.
what, Kabe, what I would add to this too is you pull together an incredible community of broadcasters, and I really look at all the content that these other creators are putting out there. I learned a lot with this challenge. There are different ways of posts that I need to do, and I think I've learned so much from this challenge. But also being part of the community that we're all part of. I'm just so proud to be part of it, and then also the learning opportunity I have to become better and be better. So thank you all.
And that's what I wanted to see. That's what I want to hope people will actually take out of this, is do something different than what they're used to doing. Right? I mean, I would love to see, like, okay, Matt, when you mentioned you wanted to start getting back into writing, right? I would love to see that side of you again.
I'm just gonna do it on Medium because it reads better.
It does, right?
It's got more traction.
Yeah, right on Medium, and then shared. I mean, that's the whole thing about it, right? It's just shared out. But you know what? At least it kind of draws you into that avenue again of wanting to go and write, and then you're about to hop into in a while to the RV life. I mean, hopefully you're going to keep track of that and writing vlog style journals and stuff like that.
Journal. Well, I'm about to get obnoxious with it. I need to get obnoxious and do all the types of that I didn't do because I didn't follow the rules. So now you guys are going to see polls for me and memes for me. For me.
So Kenyatta, you now have to do your own challenge. You do 10 memes a day, 10 polls a day.
That's right. I got some making up to do here.
Yeah, 10 posts in 10 minutes.
10 posts. Go ahead, Kimber.
If everybody created a posting that has all 10 listed on there with the links, so that I'd love to see just Charlene's work, just go from one to the other to the other to the other, and the same thing for everyone else. Instead of going into the hashtag where it's all mixed up, I want to actually see the first one and the second one and the third one. I think that would be kind of neat to watch that journey of that individual artist.
Well, and that's again.
Does she mean post a link to each one in the comments?
One
post.
Yeah, Matt was saying, one post. So you create one post. You say, "This is my 10-in-1 portfolio," or whatever. Maybe that's what we could call it, 10-in-1 portfolio. And then in that text, you put all of the different ones, and maybe you put a new picture or whatever on it, a new meme or something.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing, guys. Now you've kind of created more content around something that you've experienced.
Yeah, I agree with Dawn.
Right?
Yeah, Jim Rohn.
I had a good takeaway because I read everybody's post, and I take the time to read everybody's post. And I learned a lot from the different creators here. And, I said, dude, I need to step up my game. So I'm glad I participated. I have a long way to go. So I learned a lot.
Well, and that's the beautiful part about this, right? Is the fact that now you're gonna start seeing. So as we go out there and start creating more and more, you're gonna start seeing. Now you guys are connected. You're gonna see Joseph's posts start popping into your feeds more. You're gonna start seeing Jen come up in here in her streams. This is what it's all about, and what's been created. And now guess what? We've given the platform what it's been asking for. Creators creating content, and not just content, but content with value. Right. So, I mean, here we are. There's how many of us here? There's 8. And then there was 1, 2, 3, 4 more that actually participated. Multiply that, right? How many of that by 10? That's how many pieces of content now got flooded into the platform.
Yeah.
In one day.
LinkedIn loves us
In one day.
Well,
in one day.
And,
and we didn't get shadow banned.
Correct.
Nope.
Well, to Joseph's point, we're all so different. I love that none of us are from the same market. I mean, we know each other. Some of us do, but we're such different niches. Like, I don't actually follow a lot of creators, and so I like getting more creators in the wheelhouse to see the different styles, different than my normal day to day. So I like that.
It is, and this is what I love about what happens. So next year when I do this again, I'm gonna try to structure it a little bit more, so that people can follow the rules and
put them at the top of the post. These are the rules.
And then you guys, this means we have a year to plan our 10 posts next year.
And everybody was still doing the day of.
Yeah, true. Well, we'll be different people. Think about that. We're going to be different people a year.
We're going to be different people. Yes,
we're not going to be the same. Yeah. So what I posted this past Monday.
Well,
exactly.
I went back and read my 10 posts from the last time I did this in just 10 months.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day of who I was in those moments and as a creator, and then what I am now. I'm like, so I can only imagine.
That's cool.
The undertaking that you see. Guess what? Now you've kind of built your own little pathway to go back and look.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you what, that hashtag, I hadn't touched that hashtag in 10 months. And then I went back there and guess what?
Yeah.
It's all still sitting there, and you can go do it and go back and look back over and recollect on, man, boy, I was on fire that day, or man, I could have done better. You know?
Well, you could put the yardstick behind you and see how far you've come. Instead of keeping it in front of us, always like, oh, look how far I have to go. Swing that yardstick behind you.
But that was the biggest thing that I wanted to do about this challenge, because for me, like I said, last year when I did the experience, it was fun, it was pressure filled, it was all of these things, but you know what? It pushed my limitations as a creator. And that's all I wanted to do for other people to do. That we're sitting here now. It's like, how do I do that? Oh my gosh. Like again, you guys had to learn a new skill. You guys didn't know how to do memes or GIFs.
GIFs, yeah.
Right?
Still
now
don't.
you can go wait. But now you'll be like, you know what? If I want to do one today, I feel like it whatever just strikes me, I know how to do it and strike the chord, and I'll put it out there.
I just don't want to get lost in the vortex of Giphy.
Right.
Man.
I got to get in and I got to get out. Ninja style.
Just don't become a meme yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. That's the next evolution is getting your own created for you. So thank you guys. I wanted to again all the gratitude in the world for you guys joining in and being a part of this. It was such a fun time, and I hope and look forward to doing this again. And to the creators who weren't here this evening, I'll send you a message. I appreciate you guys as well. All you did was make this a better community, a better ability for all of us to connect. And now that we are in each other's circle, we're going to see more connections and a lot of these things happening. So there we go. Don't become a meme yourself.
I want to
the quote for the
meme.
night. That's a piece of advice.
That's right. So, so everybody who's been a part of this one, guys, everybody sit tight real quick. Everybody else, we will be back here. Oh, I will be back here Monday morning, 5 a.m. Central Standard Time, 6 a.m. Eastern. I'm committed to doing my Monday shows because I want to reach my guests across the pond because there's so many interesting people over there, and I don't get the opportunity to interview them because I have such a late night show here on Friday. So what do I got to do? I got to just get what I want. So that's what I'm going to do, and bring on a lot of the creators that are over there very, very early in the morning. For me, for them, it's the middle of the day, and they're hopping ready to go. So thank you again, everybody.
We want to thank you, Gabe.
I know.
Thank you, everybody. That was awesome.
Appreciate you.
Gabe.
This is what it's about. Community.
Thank you, guys. I do appreciate it. And like
It
I
was
said,
awesome.
you guys again are a big part of this community and what we stand for, and it's only going to get better. In just the 3.5 months since I've been pushing this forward, this agenda, I've seen so much growth. I've seen so much development. I've seen so many wonderful things spark and happen from just doing this. So if that's happened in only 3.5 months, a year from now, imagine what we're going to look like and what this community is going to be like. It's going to be pretty damn amazing. And all of you guys have been along for the journey, and I appreciate everybody who has taken the time to do this. And what you do, guys, as creators, what you do every day, it's all part of it. It's all part of the master plan of whatever that's going to lead each and every single one of us. But I'm glad
so grateful. Oh, sorry.
No, go
I'm
ahead,
just so grateful for meeting everybody. Like my heart is just so full to be with other creators and to just create for myself instead of for something else. You know, it was just so great.
Yeah.
So until then, everybody, I will be back here. Right. You guys have a safe weekend. Everybody sit tight.
You guys.
The audience, you guys are out of here. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, beautiful people.
Bye.